So episode begins in space with Hamsterville in prison and a reuse of animation before he goes to contact Gantu.
Another hit! Force shields down! Reroute all power to aft weapons!
I wish those bubbles would move out the way. No, I can't say that! So Hamsterville tells him he's sick of having Gantu fail all the time, and that he's taking matters into his own hands, and promptly fires him. Ugh, that has to suck. But that's technically good news for the world, because then he'll stop experiment hunting.
But you can't fire me!
Ouch. Hurts to be you. Listen, a word of advice. Before you go looking for a new job, put on some pants.
Oh, don't. You know, I mean, I personally wouldn't mind if you... What is it with me today? Over at the house, Nanny comes in and complains about all the bills that she has to pay due to Stitch's destruction and their experiment hunting. I thought the end of the first movie was all about this, how the special forces had their back and said they wouldn't have to pay for anything else. You know, an alien causing a problem? Especially now, of all times, since they saved the world from being blown up by an asteroid. They shouldn't have to pay for anything. They should have a mansion up on the hills paid for by the government. Plot hole?
Okay, that does it. I have had it up to here with the little blue wrecking ball. Here.
The shining path of puppyhood, turning your bad dog good.
Really? We're doing this again?
It's a new approach, using some old techniques.
You could say it's almost as old as the first movie.
Huh? I got you!
The book says, when the shining path of goodness eludes your puppy, spray him with a water bottle of karmic cleansing.
You did this already. In the first movie, you did all of this. Usually you love referencing the first movie, but now you're just choosing to ignore it? What the hell is going on?
Stitch, you need to play like a good doggy for a little while, just so Nani can see that you know how to be good. This is really important. Will you do it for me? Because I love you.
No, you're not getting me, no.
Okay, Stitch good. Very good.
Oh, damn it. You got me, I love you too.
Your puppy must learn to walk gently on the path of goodness. This is rice paper, the most delicate paper in the world. All you have to do is walk across it without tearing it.
If it's so delicate, won't that mean that costs a lot of money? And then that counteracts your money problem, which you're trying to solve by making him act like this? So more training ensues with Stitch getting angry and then destroying everything. Ha 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 ha.
Stitch is having a hard time finding the delicate lotus of his doggy nature.
It's because he isn't a dog. You of all people should know not to push this because of how petrified you were when you found out he wasn't. So we learned Jumba's making a machine to fix their money problems and Pleatley is painting to sell his art. If they want money, why don't they go and get actual jobs? I mean, Jumba could work at like an engineering factory and Pleatley could keep selling his art like this, or maybe work as a teacher teaching English or something, or work in fashion. Why not, since he has all this interest in clothes? Oh, okay, maybe you think it's because the island is so small, there's not really any jobs for them to go and get. Well, the next scene is Gantu going to an employment agency and seeing all of the potential jobs he could be getting. Oh, and on that subject, I think Gantu could do well in, like, the military as a pilot, or just a general pilot. I mean, yeah, his size means you'd have to make some differences, like make bigger play. Stripping! Go into stripping! Your size is actually a benefit there. So Pleatley unveils his master plan to make money is a lemonade stand.
That's it? That's your big idea? A lemonade stand?
Lemonade stands appear in all your Earth cartoons and every situation comedy ever written. It's brilliant!
Okay, that's pretty funny. Over with Gantu, he's working at a sandwich shop. Oh yeah, that's a good place for him to work. Actually, that would be a good place for Ruben to work. Speaking of, Ruben comes in and says Gantu's sandwich is terrible and that he should be fired. And so he is. Right then and there. That's not how that works! A customer can't just come in and say, oh, this is so terrible, you should be fired. And then the manager just has to agree with it and fire them right there on the spot. Back at the house, Lilo talks with Jumba that if Stitch keeps breaking more stuff and Nanny is to keep paying more bills, they can't afford to keep him anymore. Oh boy, okay, where do I start with this? Number one, he isn't a dog you can just give back to the pound for money. Number two, too late. You should have done this in the first movie, or at least when you found out he was an alien, not after months of him living with you and getting accustomed to being in your family. And part 3, he is your family now. You know, the Ohana, the thing you keep mentioning in every damn episode? He's part of the family now. You can't just kick him out. That's a horrible thing to do. By the same logic, you might as well just kick Jumba out because he spends so much money buying the parts for his inventions, or kick Pleatley out because he spends so much money on clothes, or hell, why not just kick out Lilo while you're at it? Yeah, she's your sister, but you know how much money she takes up by eating and going to hula classes?
But it's not gonna pay these bills. And that means no hula lessons this month.
But I need my hula lessons.
Oh my god, she actually mentions that. She doesn't want her to get an education. Okay, yeah, sure, kick her out. Why not? You'll have all the money living in the house by yourself. Oh my god. I mean, there's Nanny being fed up with all the bills and the destruction, and then there's her just being a psycho. Anyway, on the TV comes up an ad saying that any sightings of aliens will be rewarded with money. And Stitch decides to be the awesome good person he is and goes to give himself in so that they get money. He shows up at the doctor and he does all sorts of rather specific tests to check he's actually an alien before...
I am well aware of your strength, 626.
Jabba?
Once I restore your original destructive programming, all will fear the name of... Dr. Jacques Van Amsterville!
Oh, what the... What? How? Back at the house, we finally find out what Jumba's machine is.
I call it the instant money's maker machine.
It makes money?
Yeah! All the monies you could be wanting. No more trouble with the bills.
I call it the Great Depression machine. Get out your wheelbarrows, kids, because the cost of bread is about to skyrocket. So they see the same TV ad for aliens that Stitch saw and assume that that's where he went, then leaving to go rescue him. Back with Stitch, we find out Hamsterville has found a way to reverse his programming, so he's evil again. Okay, yeah, great. What the hell is he doing there? How did he get out of prison? How are they gonna explain this?
Dr. Hamsterville, you're supposed to be in prison.
3-day furlough.
Really? Really? That's your excuse? That's pathetic. You think the prison guards are so stupid to let the evil genius get in his own ship and fly down to the planet he's vowed to everyone that he's going to destroy? What?
Let's get naughty!
Naughty? But why didn't you say bad? Naughty puts all sorts of weird images in my mind. So the rest of them show up and Hamsterville lets them in. They end up seeing Stitch as evil again and Hamsterville reveals himself. Over with Gantu, he finds Pleatley's lemonade stand, but also the continuous money printing machine. Stitch gets ordered to smash the family, but Lilo finds the goodness in him, blah blah blah. We find out he was acting all along and he smashes Hamsterville. Just as he's about to get away, however...
Dr. Hamsterville, I've got a few things to get off my chest. With this machine, I'll have all the cash I'll need, so you can't kick me around anymore.
Stitch, this is one time it's okay for you to be distracted.
Oh my god, no!
Katabooga!
No! What have you done? What have you done? Oh my god! What in Blitzsack do you think you were doing? Gantu was finally happy. He finally had a way out from working with Hamsterville. He wouldn't have been helping him to catch experiments anymore, and since Hamsterville would be in prison, they wouldn't be caught anymore. You wouldn't have any resistance. Hell, Gantu could have maybe even helped you by working with you like we know he wants to. He could have done it to stick it to Hamsterville, to say, screw you for firing me, I'm gonna work with your enemy. But no, you had to ruin everything. You idiots! You goddamn idiots! I don't even care how the episode ends. We're talking about this right now. You know, on my first viewing, I actually kind of liked this episode. I thought it was kind of funny seeing how the family tries to get money, and I was going to spend most of this analysis talking about how this is the second half to the Lilo and Stitch 2 comparison I was making in the Elastico episode, and was going to give it quite a lot of credit for that. Until I watched it this time. This time, I think I kind of hate this episode. Maybe it's just a spur of the moment thing, but unlike Sprout or Holio, which I'll just skip out of uninterest, I think I will definitely skip this episode because it makes me mad. Not only does it completely forget the events of the first movie, not only does it show off Stitch to be a stupid, destructive dog, which by this point is really starting to get old and he's supposed to be past that, not only does Hamsterville show up out of nowhere and we're expected to just buy it and not realize how that makes absolutely no sense, and not only does it show off Nanny to be a complete jerk psychopath that she's willing to just get rid of a family member that saved her life multiple times and makes her sister happy and has her only friend out onto the streets just for a little bit of money. If that didn't make me hate the episode enough though, you know, I could have let it slide there, pointed out the Nanny Psycho thing, but still given it credit for the second half of Lilo and Stitch thing, and it still shows that Stitch has goodness in him, which is a fair enough message, and just called it a filler episode and just moved on. But then you had to give the final kick in the crotch and completely ruin Gantu's life for literally no reason. I can't think of a single good reason why they would do that. Not one. Time and time again, they complain at Gantu for working against them and that they could be so much better as a team, and then every chance they get where they could work together, they completely destroy it! The writers may have forgotten about Gantu's actions in Splody Head, where he helps them get food and shelter, or Amnesio, where he doesn't want to turn bad and he just wants to be a cop and help the world. But I certainly didn't forget it. Bad Stitch, more like bad episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you like, leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this episode, and subscribe to me if you want to see more Lilo and Stitch love. You know, I was going to end this bit by making a joke about the fact that I would watch a spin-off show about Gantu just trying to get a job, or when he does get a job, his massive size or his hatred of humans somehow messes it up for him. But now it just doesn't even feel right. It just feels... Screw this episode, man. Screw the writers who worked on this. Seriously. I didn't think I hated this episode so much, but turns out looking at it with a fine-tooth comb, like I do with this series, ends up revealing hidden things about them. Sometimes not good. And I don't really want to watch this episode ever again.